Good morning, my friend. Today, let's talk about something we all face: pain. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, pain comes into our lives in different forms. But the truth is, pain is temporary. It doesn't last forever, even when it feels like it might. When you're in the middle of pain, it's easy to think it's endless. You might feel stuck or overwhelmed, as if the pain is a permanent part of your life. But I want you to remember something important: nothing stays the same. Just as the sun rises after the darkest night, so too will your pain fade. Think of your pain as a message. It's not here to punish you, it's here to guide you. Maybe it's asking you to slow down, to listen to your body, or to take a deeper look at what needs healing inside. You see, pain has a purpose. But once its message is received, it no longer needs to stay. And that's when the healing begins. We often try to fight pain, resist it, or ignore it. But what if we approached it differently? What if instead of resisting, we acknowledged it? When we embrace the idea that pain is part of our journey but not our destination, we can start to release its grip on us. It's in that release that true healing happens. Imagine your pain as a wave. It rises, it peaks, and then it falls away. You are not the wave, you are the one who observes it. You are the calm beneath it. When you accept that pain is a passing wave, you allow yourself to heal from within, trusting that it will move through you and eventually leave. Take a deep breath and let go of the fear that this pain is permanent. Just as joy, laughter, and love flow through your life, so too does pain. It moves, it changes, and yes, it leaves. Every time you acknowledge this truth, you step closer to the peace that is waiting for you. In this moment, trust that healing is possible. Trust that the discomfort you feel now is temporary. And most importantly, trust in your ability to move through it with grace and strength. You are resilient, you are capable, and you are more powerful than you know. Pain is temporary, but your strength is forever. Let your healing begin. Pain can often feel like an overwhelming force, something that grips us tightly and refuses to let go. Whether it's physical discomfort, emotional heartache, or mental stress, pain has a way of making us feel as though it's endless. When we are in the midst of it, it's hard to imagine life beyond the pain, and that's what makes it so consuming. Yet, despite how it feels in the moment, pain is not permanent. This simple truth holds immense power, and when truly embraced, can change how we approach our most difficult moments. Everything in life is in constant motion. Just as the seasons change and the sun rises after the darkest night, our experiences, emotions, and even our pain are not static. They evolve, shift, and transform over time. Pain, no matter how intense it may seem, is part of this natural cycle. It comes into our lives, and in the same way, it will eventually leave. The challenge is in remembering this truth when we are engulfed by it. There is a tendency to view pain as something fixed, something that will define our lives indefinitely. This mindset can be dangerous because it leads us to believe that there is no escape, no light at the end of the tunnel. But the reality is far different. Pain, in all its forms, is a temporary experience. While it may last for a moment, a day, or even years, it will not stay forever. It moves through us, teaching us, testing us, and ultimately passing. It's crucial to recognize that pain serves a purpose. Often it's a signal from our bodies or minds that something requires attention. Physical pain may alert us to injury or illness, prompting us to take care of our bodies. Emotional pain may be a response to loss, betrayal, or disappointment, reminding us to heal old wounds or set new boundaries. Mental pain, such as stress or anxiety, may indicate that we need to reevaluate our thoughts and priorities. In this sense, pain is a messenger, not a punishment. It's there to guide us, to bring our awareness to areas of our life that need nurturing or change. When we begin to see pain as a temporary and purposeful experience, our relationship with it shifts. Instead of fighting against it, we can begin to acknowledge it. This doesn't mean we welcome pain or enjoy it, but rather we respect its role in our journey. When we stop resisting, we create space for healing. Resisting pain often amplifies it. The more we push back, the more we tighten our grip on it, and the harder it becomes to let go. But when we lean into the idea that this too shall pass, we start to loosen that grip. Healing takes time, but it is always possible. There is no set timeline for how long pain will last, but the belief that it will eventually ease allows us to cultivate patience and resilience. Every experience we go through shapes us, but none define us. Pain, though it may be part of our story, is not the whole story. It is one chapter in the larger narrative of our lives. As long as we trust that healing is on the horizon, we can find the strength to continue moving forward, even in the darkest of times. Our minds and bodies are incredibly resilient. Even when pain feels unbearable, we possess a deep inner strength that helps us endure this experiences, yet it carries with it a purpose that is often overlooked. It is easy to view pain as something negative, something to avoid at all costs. However, if we shift our perspective, we can begin to understand that pain serves as a guide, a messenger that brings our attention to areas of our lives that require healing or change. It's not here to punish us or make our lives difficult, but to help us grow, reflect, and transform. Physical pain is one of the most straightforward examples of this purpose. When our body experiences discomfort, whether from injury or illness, it's sending a signal. That signal tells us that something is wrong and needs our attention. Without pain, we might not notice when we are hurt or when we need to take care of ourselves. Pain, in this case, is a protective mechanism. It reminds us to rest, to heal, and to seek the care we need. It's a call to action that we cannot ignore, ensuring that we do what is necessary to recover. Emotional pain, while often more complex, operates in a similar way. When we experience heartbreak, loss, or disappointment, it feels unbearable at times. But emotional pain is not without its own purpose. It urges us to look inward, to explore the feelings and beliefs that are contributing to our suffering. It can be a signal that something in our life is out of alignment, whether it's a relationship that no longer serves us, unresolved trauma from the past, or unmet emotional needs. When we face emotional pain, it's an opportunity to examine what needs healing within us. Too often, we try to run from emotional pain or numb it with distractions. But ignoring it only makes it persist longer. By understanding that our pain is communicating something important, we can start to listen to it with more compassion. It's asking us to slow down, to give ourselves permission to grieve, to process our feelings, and eventually to release them. In doing so, we create the space for healing and growth. Pain's purpose is not to bring us down, but to lift us up, once we've taken the time to learn from it. Mental pain, such as stress, anxiety, or depression, also serves a purpose. It often signals that our thoughts and beliefs need reassessment. If we are constantly worrying or feeling overwhelmed, it may be because we are placing too much pressure on ourselves, trying to control situations we cannot control, or carrying the weight of unrealistic expectations. Mental pain reminds us that something in our thought patterns needs attention. It is a cue to shift our mindset, to challenge the negative thoughts that have taken root, and to cultivate a more supportive and compassionate inner dialogue. Rather than seeing pain as something to be avoided at all costs, we can approach it as a teacher. It teaches us about ourselves, our limits, our needs, and our capacity to heal. Through pain, we learn resilience. We discover the strength that lies within us to endure, to overcome, and to transform. Pain shows us where we are holding on too tightly, where we need to let go, and where we need to make changes in our lives. The purpose of pain is also to remind us of our humanity. It connects us to others, as we all experience it in some form or another. Pain fosters empathy and compassion, allowing us to relate to the struggles of those around us. When we have gone through difficult times, we are more likely to offer a kind word, a helping hand, or a listening ear to someone else who is suffering. In this way, pain helps us forge deeper connections with others and reminds us that we are not alone in our journey. Pain can be a powerful motivator for change. It often comes when we are stuck in patterns that are not serving us, whether it's a toxic relationship, an unfulfilling job, or unhealthy habits, pain nudges us toward transformation. It's that discomfort that prompts us to step out of our comfort zone and seek something better. Without pain, we might remain stagnant, avoiding the necessary changes that lead to a more fulfilling and authentic life. In the end, pain is not the enemy. It is a natural part of the human experience, one that has an essential purpose. It alerts us to what needs healing, invites us to grow, and pushes us toward transformation. By embracing pain's purpose rather than fearing it, we allow ourselves to learn from it and eventually move beyond it. Pain, though difficult, is a guide that leads us to greater understanding, healing, and strength. One of the most important lessons we can learn in life is the power of acceptance over resistance. Often when faced with challenges or pain, our immediate response is to resist. We try to push away uncomfortable feelings, ignore difficult situations, or deny the reality of what we're going through. This instinct is natural as humans. We want to avoid discomfort. However, resistance often leads to more suffering. By resisting what is happening in our lives, we create a tension within ourselves, a battle between reality and our desire for things to be different. This internal conflict can make the situation feel even more overwhelming. Acceptance, on the other hand, is a radically different approach. Instead of fighting against what is, acceptance allows us to acknowledge the situation as it stands. This doesn't mean that we approve of everything that happens, nor does it mean that we give up on trying to improve our lives. Rather, acceptance is about coming to terms with the reality of the present moment, allowing us to move forward with greater clarity and peace. When we resist pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, we often intensify it. Imagine holding a knot in your muscles. The more you tense up and fight against it, the tighter that knot becomes. Resistance works the same way in our minds and hearts. The more we resist our feelings of grief, anger, or sadness, the more entrenched they become. We hold on to them tightly, unwilling to let go, because we are afraid of what will happen if we face them directly. But the irony is that true healing comes not from avoidance, but from acceptance. By accepting our pain, we allow it to flow through us rather than holding it inside. This concept can be especially difficult when we are going through something particularly challenging. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a breakup, or a major life setback, our instinct is to resist. We wish things were different. And we may even find ourselves stuck in the mindset of why me, but when we resist these realities, we remain trapped in them. We replay the events in our minds, hoping for a different outcome that will never come. Resistance keeps us locked in the past, unable to heal and move forward. Acceptance, on the other hand, frees us. It allows us to see things as they are, without judgment or blame. When we accept what has happened, we stop fighting against reality. This doesn't mean we aren't sad, angry, or disappointed. It simply means that we are no longer in conflict with the present moment. Acceptance allows us to sit with our emotions, to feel them fully, and then to release them when we are ready. It is a gentle acknowledgement that things are as they are, and from that place of acceptance, we can begin to heal. One of the greatest misconceptions about acceptance is that it means giving up. Many people believe that if they accept a difficult situation, they are resigning themselves to it, that they will never be able to change it. But acceptance is not the same as resignation. In fact, acceptance is the first step toward meaningful change. When we accept a situation, we are able to see it clearly. We stop wasting energy on wishing things were different and instead focus on what can be done now. Acceptance opens the door to new possibilities, allowing us to take empowered action. In contrast, resistance keeps us stuck in a state of frustration and helplessness. It blinds us to potential solutions because we are so focused on what we don't want, rather than accepting what is. When we resist, we expend a tremendous amount of energy trying to control things that are often beyond our control. Acceptance, by contrast, conserves our energy for the things that we can change. It helps us make peace with what is so that we can focus on moving forward. At its core, acceptance is about surrendering to the present moment. It's about letting go of the need to control every outcome and trusting that things will unfold as they should. This doesn't mean we passively accept everything that happens in our lives. It means we stop resisting reality and start working with it rather than against it. It's about finding the balance between accepting what we cannot change and taking action on what we can. Acceptance is a powerful tool for inner peace. When we stop resisting, we create space for healing, growth, and transformation. Instead of fighting against life's challenges, we learn to embrace them as part of our journey. And in doing so, we free ourselves from the unnecessary suffering that resistance brings. Acceptance isn't easy, but it is a path to true freedom, allowing us to live more fully in the present moment. Pain is an inevitable part of life, but it is also a passing experience. It comes and goes, flowing through us like a wave, rising to its peak and eventually receding. No matter how intense it may feel in the moment, pain does not last forever. It is temporary, even when it seems overwhelming. Understanding that pain is not a permanent fixture in our lives can help us navigate the tough times with more resilience, patience, and hope. When we're in the midst of pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, it's easy to feel like it will never end. The intensity of the experience can make it seem like it will stretch on indefinitely. However, pain is part of a natural process, much like the ebb and flow of the tides or the changing of the seasons. Just as day turns into night and night into day, pain also follows its own cycle. It comes into our lives, but it also leaves. Even the sharpest physical pain will diminish as the body begins to heal, and emotional pain, while perhaps more complex, will also soften over time. One reason pain feels so overwhelming in the moment is because it demands our attention. Pain is the body and mind's way of signaling that something needs care. It pulls us into the present moment, forcing us to confront what is happening inside us. In some cases, this can feel unbearable because we may not have the tools to cope, or we fear the emotions that arise. Yet, even in these intense moments, it is essential to remember that this pain is only temporary. Like a storm, it will pass, leaving behind clearer skies and calmer waters. Emotional pain in particular can feel endless, especially after experiences like loss, heartbreak, or failure. These are moments when the pain touches the core of our being, shaking the foundation of our lives. We may feel like our world has been turned upside down, and it can be difficult to imagine a future without this pain. But as difficult as it may be to believe in the moment, emotional pain also fades. The feelings of grief, sadness, or anger will eventually soften. Our hearts are capable of immense healing, even when it seems impossible. What often happens with emotional pain is that we hold on to it, either consciously or unconsciously, because we are afraid to face it fully. We may resist the sadness or try to numb the grief, believing that avoiding it will make it go away. But pain is not something that can be pushed away or ignored. It needs to be felt and processed. The more we resist pain, the longer it tends to linger. When we allow ourselves to feel our emotions, to sit with them and acknowledge them without judgment, we create space for the pain to move through us. And once it has moved through, it will begin to dissipate. Pain, whether emotional or physical, often teaches us something valuable. It can reveal areas in our lives that need attention, healing, or change. It pushes us to grow, to become more resilient, and to develop a deeper understanding of ourselves. While pain is uncomfortable, it is often through these difficult experiences that we learn some of life's most important lessons. Pain forces us to slow down, to reflect, and to reevaluate what is truly important to us. And once we've moved through the pain, we often come out the other side stronger and more grounded. One of the key elements in recognizing that pain is a passing experience is trusting in the process of healing. Healing does not always happen as quickly as we'd like, but it does happen. The body knows how to repair itself after an injury, and the heart knows how to mend after a loss. This process is not always linear, and there may be moments when the pain resurfaces, but just as it came, it will go. Our role is to be patient with ourselves, to trust that healing is taking place, even when it's not immediately visible, and to allow the pain to run its course. In times of great pain, it's helpful to remind ourselves of past experiences when we thought the pain would never end, yet it did. We've all been through moments of suffering, and we've all come out the other side. That is evidence that pain is temporary. Even when the future feels uncertain and the pain seems too much to bear, we can trust in the fact that it will pass, just as it has before. Ultimately, pain is not meant to define us. It is a part of the human experience, but it is not the whole of it. Life is filled with ups and downs, moments of joy and sorrow, but nothing remains static. Pain will always come and go. It is a passing experience, and with time, we will heal, grow, and continue to move forward. Recognizing this truth allows us to face pain with greater strength, knowing that it too shall pass. Trusting in the healing process is one of the most crucial aspects of overcoming pain, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. Healing is not an instant transformation. It is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and belief in the body and mind's innate ability to recover and restore balance. While the process of healing can feel slow or even stagnant at times, having faith in the fact that healing is taking place allows us to navigate these difficult moments with more grace and resilience. Often, when we experience pain, the first instinct is to want to fix it immediately. We seek quick solutions, looking for ways to escape the discomfort as fast as possible. But healing doesn't work on a schedule. It has its own rhythm, one that can't be forced or rushed. Just like a wound on the skin takes time to scab and regenerate, the deeper wounds of the heart, mind, and spirit also need time. Trusting in the healing process means understanding that it is unfolding in the right way and at the right pace for each individual. Every person heals differently, and comparing our journey to others only creates more frustration. At times, it may feel like nothing is happening, as if the pain will never go away. These moments can be the most challenging because healing is not always visible. There is often progress happening beneath the surface within our bodies, minds, and emotions, even if we can't see it. Trusting the process means acknowledging that healing is not always linear. There are ups and downs, good days and bad days, and sometimes setbacks. But even setbacks are part of the process. They are not failures, they are simply reminders that healing is complex, and it takes time for all the pieces to fall into place. Healing is also about surrender. It's about letting go of the need to control the outcome or the timeline. This can be incredibly difficult, especially for those of us who want to be in control of our lives and our circumstances. But healing requires us to step back and allow the body and mind to do their work without interference. It's about trusting that deep down we have the capacity to heal. The human body is remarkably resilient, and the human spirit even more so. When we trust in the process, we stop resisting and start allowing ourselves to move forward, even if the path is not entirely clear. An important part of trusting the healing process is self-compassion. Healing often brings up feelings of vulnerability, fear, and even frustration. It can be easy to get impatient with ourselves, to feel like we're not progressing fast enough, or to judge ourselves for still feeling pain. But healing requires us to be gentle with ourselves. We need to treat ourselves with the same kindness and patience that we would offer to a loved one who is going through a difficult time. Self-compassion is the foundation of trust in the healing process, allowing us to create a safe space within ourselves where healing can truly take root. Another key aspect of healing is recognizing that it is not just about the absence of pain or illness. True healing is holistic. It is about the integration of body, mind, and spirit. While the physical symptoms may subside, real healing goes deeper. It involves emotional release, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. Trusting the healing process means understanding that sometimes the pain or discomfort we are feeling is part of a greater transformation. The process might reveal deeper wounds that need attention, or it might bring up emotions we didn't know were there. This is part of the healing journey, and we must trust that these revelations are necessary for complete recovery. We also have to trust in the tools we use to heal. Whether it's through medical treatment, therapy, meditation, or self-reflection, the methods we choose to support our healing process are important. There may be times when we doubt whether these methods are working, especially if progress feels slow. But when we commit to a path of healing, We need to trust that these practices are helping us, even if the results aren't immediate. Healing requires consistency and dedication, and sometimes it's only in hindsight that we can see how much progress has been made. Ultimately, trusting in the healing process means believing that we are capable of healing no matter how deep the wound or how long it takes. It means having faith in the body's natural ability to recover and in the mind's capacity to find peace and balance again. Trust is not about denying the pain or pretending that everything is fine. It's about accepting where we are in the journey and believing that healing is unfolding, even if we can't see the full picture yet. Healing is a profound experience that teaches us patience, resilience, and self-compassion. It asks us to trust in something bigger than ourselves, whether that's the body's wisdom, the universe, or a higher power. By trusting in the healing process, we release the need to control and allow ourselves to be present in the moment, knowing that with time we will emerge stronger, wiser, and more whole. Inner strength is one of the most enduring qualities a person can possess. Unlike external circumstances that are constantly changing, inner strength is a lasting force that remains with us through life's challenges, guiding us through difficulties and helping us find resilience in moments of uncertainty. It is the foundation upon which we build our ability to cope, persevere, and thrive, no matter what the external world throws our way. One of the reasons inner strength is so lasting is that it comes from a deeply personal place within us. It is not dependent on material wealth, status, or external validation. Instead, it is rooted in our sense of self, our values, and our beliefs. When we cultivate inner strength, we develop a core of resilience that allows us to face challenges with confidence, knowing that we have the resources within ourselves to overcome whatever obstacles arise. It is a quiet but powerful force that sustains us even when the world around us feels uncertain or out of control. Inner strength is not something we are born with, it is something we develop over time. Often through the trials and tribulations we experience, life presents us with moments of adversity, and it is in these moments that our inner strength is tested and refined. Each time we face a challenge and rise above it, we strengthen our inner reserves of courage, resilience, and determination. Over time, this process builds an unshakable foundation of inner strength that can withstand even the most difficult of circumstances. What makes inner strength so lasting is its ability to grow and evolve. Unlike physical strength, which can diminish with age or illness, inner strength can continue to expand as we mature and gain wisdom. The more we face life's challenges and navigate our way through them, the stronger we become on the inside. This growth doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual process that takes place over the course of our lives. However, once we've developed a deep sense of inner strength, it becomes a permanent part of who we are, always accessible when we need it most. Inner strength also has a remarkable capacity to help us stay grounded in the face of change. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and often we find ourselves in situations that are beyond our control. When external circumstances are unpredictable or chaotic, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or anxious. However, when we tap into our inner strength, we are reminded that we have the capacity to endure whatever comes our way. Inner strength provides us with a sense of stability and security even when the world around us feels uncertain. It helps us to remain calm, focused, and centered, enabling us to respond to life's challenges from a place of strength, rather than fear. Another reason inner strength is so lasting is that it is not reliant on the opinions or judgments of others. It is a self-sustaining force that exists within us, independent of external approval or validation. Many people spend their lives seeking approval from others, believing that their worth is determined by how they are perceived by society. However, inner strength is built on a foundation of self-acceptance and self-awareness. When we cultivate inner strength, we learn to trust ourselves and our abilities, regardless of what others may think. This sense of self-assurance allows us to navigate the world with confidence, knowing that our strength comes from within, not from the opinions of others. Inner strength also fosters a deep sense of perseverance. Life's challenges are inevitable, and there will always be moments when we feel like giving up. However, inner strength gives us the determination to keep going, even when the road ahead seems long and difficult. It allows us to push through obstacles, knowing that we have the capacity to endure and overcome whatever we encounter. This perseverance is a key component of inner strength, and it is what allows us to keep moving forward, even in the face of setbacks or disappointments. Moreover, inner strength is closely tied to our sense of purpose. When we have a clear understanding of our values and goals, inner strength becomes the fuel that propels us toward our aspirations. It gives us the courage to pursue our dreams even when the path is uncertain or filled with obstacles. Inner strength helps us stay committed to our vision, providing us with the resilience to overcome challenges and the determination to stay focused on what truly matters to us. This connection to our purpose makes inner strength a lasting force in our lives as it continues to guide us toward growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, inner strength is one of the most valuable and lasting qualities we can cultivate. It is a force that remains with us throughout our lives, providing us with the resilience, perseverance, and courage to face whatever challenges come our way. While the world around us may change and external circumstances may be beyond our control, inner strength is always within reach. It is a source of enduring power that helps us stay grounded, focused, and determined no matter what life throws our way. Through the cultivation of inner strength, we develop the capacity to not only survive life's challenges, but to thrive in the face of them, emerging stronger, wiser, and more resilient with each experience.